Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to TapRooT TV today. Today we're going to have a look at our software where Angie Comer is going to actually walk us through doing a demo showing exactly all the things that you can do with the TapRooT software. If you've ever been in a TapRooT course and you've gone through the paper method, which is still kind of fun to see, the software is what is a game changer. So tune in, sit back, relax, and watch her as she shows you all the new features that we have in our recent update with TapRooT.
I'd like to show you some of the new features in the latest 6.10 of the TapRooT software. As you'll notice, as I log into my homepage, as expected, I will see a list of all of my incidents, investigations, and audits. It includes lots of details, including what type of event it is, where it happened, when, who created it, and last modified. You can filter and sort, just as you always have been able to, but in the upper right-hand corner, if you'll see where my mouse is flashing, I can now click over to toggle to what we call the Corrective Actions task tracker. So here we have a new screen where you can access the action plans and tasks in motion. And over here on the left is going to have a list of all the event names. Notice that you can expand by clicking this blue plus icon to see additional details about that. You can also minimize that so you don't see all that information. Next, we're going to see what that event type is, if it's an investigation or an audit that's being performed. Next, over here, we'll have the name of the corrective action. So the identifier, the number, or unique name that you have provided for that can be clicked on, and it will take you directly to the corrective action editor. So here I can make any changes or view all of the details of my corrective action, the tasks, the responsible people, and due dates. So that is a shortcut, so I can close that window and go back home to my corrective actions. Notice that remembered that I had previously been looking at the corrective actions. At any time, I can click and back and forth between the events and corrective actions. And in this case, I want to go back to my corrective actions page. And here I am back with some additional features of this new redesign. So here I can tell what the task type is, whether it be an implementation task, a verification task, or a validation task. If you choose to set up your own custom task type and have assigned those to corrective actions, then those will be displayed here as well. The next column will show the due date of the task, the responsible person, including their email, and then the status of that task. So here in green, this has been completed, so I can clearly see that has been done. Below here, I see that I have in red some past due tasks, and it's going to let me know exactly how many days past due that is. If anything has not been completed but is not yet late, they'll be displayed in yellow, as you'll notice here. And each of these corrective action tasks can be also accessed through a little window that has the details, allows you to complete it and add any notes directly from this page instead of having to go to the corrective action tab. So at this point, I'm going to go over to events, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to pick one for an example to look at some snap chart features that we have newly implemented. So I will open up my snap chart and let it load. You can see I've outlined the events, the conditions, and my causal factors, with the causal factor icon clearly displayed on each of those shapes. So a new feature with any, we'll pick pothole was 4 inches deep, any shape that I select here, if you'll notice at the top of the menu, there's a new icon, and when you hover over it, it says Add Attachment Link, and it looks like a little paper clip. So we're giving you the ability to add attachments directly to your snap chart shapes from your attachment folder. So let me show you how that works. With the appropriate shape selected, I will click on the Add Attachments Link icon, and it will pull up a window with all of the attachments regarding what file type it is. You can still associate those. It might be an image file, it might be a Word doc, it might be an Excel file, but you can associate any of those to any shape as your choice. So I'm going to go ahead and associate this with a picture of a pothole as I've clicked there. And down here, I will click Link File. And Now on this shape, you'll notice that paperclip icon is going to float around there, and that's an indication that there is associated evidence with this shape. So I can click on that icon, and it'll open up that picture I associated with it. So here I've got a simple picture of a pothole. And if I wanted to remove any of these associated files, I would just simply click on the paperclip icon again, and I can click up here to add attachments, and it'll pull it up, and I can remove those attachments. If I decide I do not want to have those associated on my chart, I can simply remove that. But an easy way to associate your supporting evidence directly to the snap chart. One other new feature on the snap chart is in regards to snap chart versions. So over here on the left menu, you'll see where I'm clicking on this vertical tab, and I click versions. You'll notice that I have a copy that I made on September 2nd. So I can go back and click between my primary snap chart or any copies that I have. But when I'm in a copy and I look at this, you'll notice some new things here. We really want to try to make it understandable which chart you're in, which version of a copy, or if you're in the primary snap chart. So when I'm in a copy here, it's clearly labeled in red with an arrow. If I had multiple lists added here, or if I went back to my primary snap chart, it's going to follow that to make sure that you are aware of which copy or if the primary snap chart you're in. So just to show that in one other fashion, I will click on copy 1, and at the top, yellow and red identifying exactly where you're at. So you're always aware of where you're working. I will close the snap chart now to move on to another feature that we have. And that is, we'll start with the root cause tree. So we call this evidence collection. And I will show you that this can be utilized in both the root cause tree, the Equifactor, if you're using that, and you can also use this for custom lists. So essentially, with an open snap chart, I can click on any of the 15 questions, root causes, near root causes, and just as we've always had this analysis comments feature here, while you can still click on that and you can still make your own comments, you'll notice this evidence icon down here. So what this does by clicking on this icon is this going to automatically bring up a page that is going to show you all of the shapes that have been identified on your snap chart. So if I want to, when answering a question in the root cause tree, I want to give more background to why I chose that specific selection, I can associate it directly through the root cause tree to the snap chart. So I could say employee trips and pothole was one of the reasons I selected yes or no to a question. And you can do that for events, conditions. You can search for them on large snap charts to help you associate those data. Closing out of there, as that gives you the ability to go to reports and add things to reports that you're all capturing that data here. That evidence collection feature, as I mentioned, I'll go ahead and close my root cause tree. That can also be done from the snap chart and Equifactor and any of your custom tabs. I have custom tabs here on this site here. I can associate an evidence list there to help me create my own custom forms and again, things that can be used for reporting later on. Going home, I can go back to my event. And here I'd like to show you some of the new trending features that we have. So I'll go up to the trends, I'll click on dashboard and let it load. So in the past, we were able to filter and create widgets and charts based on the location, the classification, and any date range. A new feature we've added here, if you'll notice over here, I have the severity button. So severity, I'll click on this. This is what's known as a custom list. This is not out of the box from the TapRooT software, but severity or any other combination of custom lists that you've created. We've now given you the ability to search and trend on all of those custom drop-down list, and including still your classifications, your locations, your dates, and your settings. But this gives you much more flexibility in being able to trend on any of the custom fields, custom tabs, and custom data that you've set up in the software. Closing out of this, I will move on to what I'd like to show you in regards to our mobile app. So our new mobile app, version 2.0, is available on the Google Play and the Apple Store, and it works and syncs with two-way data flow between the app, and it's important to note that it's with version 6.10, which I'm showing you today, and anything higher. So when you sync up your mobile app to the TapRooT software, within the software, we have a new admin feature where you can handle and control investigations that get checked in or checked out for the users to work offline. So for example, if someone's in the field, they don't have access to the internet, they can record data using the TapRooT app to sync back and forth between the app and the software. Once you get a internet connection, you can come back to the office and you can sync the data. So it essentially allows the users to check them out. And if you go to TapRooT app on the left-hand side here, you'll see the feature that's built in to work with the mobile app in the TapRooT software. We can find history and the status of events that are either checked in or checked out for use offline. So here I have information on what the event is, who checked it in, if it's been checked in or checked out, the last action there, and then the date. So the administrators have the ability to check things in if needed, and through an actual investigation, again, once you have the sync enabled between the mobile app and the software, you'll see the options in any given investigation and it's in the details tab here. You'll notice it here, it says make visible in the app. So when I'm in an investigation, if I want this to be able to be uploaded from other people and downloaded back and forth in between other people that might be working with me on my investigation, I can allow the ability for that feature to be enabled through the details tab. And at that point, it can be managed through the mobile app and then again through administrators in the admin screen. So check that out on the app stores, and make sure if you don't already have version 6.10, you reach out to us so we can get you these new latest features. You can reach out to support@taproot.com and we'd be happy to get you on your way. I hope you like all of these new features, and of course, don't hesitate with any questions or needs for us to assist you in this. Thank you.